Hello again. I'm going to be talking about the AMYboard again today. I think in my past videos I said I was probably going to use it with the Tulip Creative Computer. I've still got plans for that, and I wasn't going to add a screen and an encoder to it, but I decided to in the end, and I've put it in a case as well. So you'll be able to see a bit there. We've got the OLED screen. We've got the encoder here, and I've just put it into this old case I had. At the end of the video, there'll be some just showing you how I put it in the case and how I connected it up. So what I'm going to try and do now, I've used sort of the AI thing again and modified the code a bit to do a small patch or multi-timbral patch on this. So I'll just try and move the board so you can see what I'm doing as well. Right, just minimize this window. I'll just see. Right, so I'll just adjust this. So at the moment, I'll just go across to the code. Right, in the AMYboard online's of programmer for this, I've set up a patch. So basically we've got a bass on channel 1, alternative bass on channel 2, that's the MIDI channels, lead on channel 3, another lead on channel 4 and a pad on channel 5, and they're played from external MIDI. I've got MIDI clock sync here, but that's sort of an artifact because I did have a drum machine on here as well. So the encoder controls the following things on each synthesizer. So it controls cutoff, resonance, volume, attack, decay, sustain, and release. So the way it's set up and what I asked it to do is a short press cycles the edit parameter of whatever patch you're on the AMYboard. And a hold and turn scrolls through the different synths on there. So I've done a text description in this part here, done create the code, and it seemed to work. Then I've added bits on. The drum machine did work okay. But I thought I'd take it out when I'm going to try a demo later on, or a bit of a demo, and use the electribe that's over here somewhere. If you look at the small window, to do drums, and then I'll use it to sequence the patches on here. So we'll have a look at it via the interface now. So we've got the small screen down here, and that's what's on the OLED display over here. I'll just see if I can get that sorted out. Right, probably. Right, so when it starts up, you might just see here in base 1 with the cutoff parameter selected, and should be able to change this with the rotary encoder, the value. So I'll just try that. So you can just see it changing there. So I'll change it back to what it was. or thereabouts. I've got to adjust that to go up in smaller increments perhaps, and do a speed control, so the faster you turn this, the faster the value rises. So we've got that. You can go to the next parameter and it just scrolls through. So you've seen it change into resonance, volume, attack, decay, sustain, and release, and then it will go back to cut off again. If you press and hold the encoder, I think you can change, so you see it change bass 2, lead 1, lead 2, pad, and then back to bass 1. So we'll have a listen to bass 1 and we'll see if we can change the cutoff. So that's bass 1, and it's supposed to be like a sort of TB303 type of bass. That's what I asked for right at the start of the sort of code iteration. So I'll just set something going with that and see if we can get it to change the parameters. Right, I'll just try and change the resonance of the cutoff now, and you might see it changing on the screen. So that's the resonance. We'll see if we the cutoff. We'll see if we can change the resonance. And then I'll change the volume. So you can change the volume as well. I'll scroll through, I won't change the other ones at the moment. I'll just go back to the cutoff and see what happens. Right, so that's what's on. So that's what's on channel 1. I'll go through the other things now. So you can change all of the other things. I think I've got to do some work with the attack and decay on it. But we'll have a look at the other voices that are set up. And I'll just show you that now. So I'll be changing over there. I'll be changing the MIDI channel on the Arturia key step. So we're on channel 1 now. So we've got that. Channel 2, we've got another bass. And I think I've got to sort out the note priority as well. But I'll have a look at that later. We've got channel 3, I think, is a lead. Need to turn the volume up on that perhaps. Channel 4 is another lead, I think. And channel 5 is a pad. So we've got all them things set up, and a lot of the parameters can be changed as well. what I'm going to try and do now just quickly is set up a sequence on this using the Arturia key step and perhaps add some drums to it, do a quick demo of that, and then there'll be just a description of how I set this up, and I'll show you my sort of manual workings for putting the OLED display on and the encoder. So I hope this part's been of use, and I'll just do a quick jam, then I'll add these other bits to the video. And thanks for watching, and if you get a chance, like and subscribe. Okay, cheers. Right, so now I've got the AMYboard set up to try and sequence it from, I think I said the Arturia before, but I'm going to try using the Electribe. So I've got the Arturia key step going into the Electribe and a MIDI through on that. I've got this CME keyboard going into the input of the Arturia, so I can play on both keyboards, and this should be transferred through to the AMYboard. So I think I'm on channel 1 on this keyboard and channel 4 on this, so I should have a sort of bass and a lead. So just check that. So we've got a bass there, and we've got a lead on that channel. If I change the channels on here, we can have a different lead. So I'm gonna have to adjust the volume on that. So that's a basic setup. I'm going to use the Electribe for some drums and just do a quick demo of a couple of minutes, and then the other bits of the video will be on. One thing I didn't mention about this, I'll just see if I can get them from over here. Right. I've actually got, I'll just try and get them out, and I think I mentioned this later on as well. I've got another lot of encoders here that I'll probably sit on the front like that. You might just see that. So I've got them. They would sit inside, but I don't really want to cut the case anymore, so I'm going to try and do something with Velcro so I can affix that there and have that connected into the AMYboard as well. And I've also got a joystick I'm going to add on as well, and I don't know, I might just stick that like so. So there's a little 4-axis joystick with a button on it as well, but that's a thing I'm going to try and do later on, and I'll do a quick video of that. But this encoder, each encoder, there's 8 encoders, each has a push button and it's got a switch on, and just mentioned about the switch on there. So I want to try and do some filter modification with that, and I also want to do, I'll probably end up doing my own code for this, to allow this to control CV parameters on the CV outputs here and here. So then I can do some like morphing between patches. So when I get round to it, that's some of the plans. So that's a setup. I'll try and do a quick jam, and then that'll be it. So I'm just going to start trying to record on the fly on all the channels. The volumes might be out and everything, but I'll just try it out. sequence going there. I'm going to turn the record off. I forgot to turn the metronome off, but I'll turn some of these off. And I'll try and change the cut-off of this sort of evolving weird pad thing. Right, I've changed the cut-off and resonance of that. And this is lead 2. I'll try and change the resonance. Try and change the cutoff actually. So I've changed that. I'll have a look at the next one along. So this is lead 1. I'll change it on here. Have a look at the cut-off here. So that's lead 1. I'll turn that up. This is bass 2. I'll change the resonance. And I'll change the cut-off. And then I'll try it. I won't change anything else. I'll try it with 1. So this is all coming from the AMYboard at the moment, apart from the drums. That pad could be a bit better. I don't know if I can turn the metronome off. Right, so I think that's about it for this. I'm going to try and do a proper jam. Turn that off. Right, I'm going to try and do a proper jam with this at some point, and use it with some of my other sort of modular gear and that, and use it to do sort of like MIDI LFOs as well. But yeah, that's it for the moment. What I'll do, the next part will just go on, if you're interested, just the build process and me cutting the case out and stuff and adding the OLED and the encoder and what I did. So yeah, again, thanks for watching, and yeah, try and support the channel. All right, cheers, thanks a lot. Right, hello again. Today I'm going to try and add some bits to the AMYboard. I've done some videos of just trying the AMYboard here on its own. I think I mentioned in them I was just going to use it with the Tulip Creative computer, but I've actually gone ahead and bought an encoder and a screen here, like a I2C screen, to connect up to the port on the AMYboard here. Yeah, I wasn't going to buy the other bits, but now I just thought I'd have a play around with it. I wanted something as a complete unit. I'm probably going to mount this to a bit of wood when I'm finished. I ended up, when I got the screen and the encoder, I also ordered, I'll just try and show you this, another encoder here, if I can actually open it. So there you can see it's an 8-way encoder with a switch on it at the top here, and I ordered a joystick as well, and that will connect on the, this is called a Grove cable connector for the I2C bus. So in the end, I'll just show you this, I should be able to have this joystick connected up. It has a push button and it's a 4-way joystick. I should be able to have this encoder connected up, and I should be able to have the screen and the single encoder connected up. So I ended up getting a load of other bits, and or a few other bits, and that's one of the reasons I don't want to go, even though I've got some modular Eurorack modular stuff, I don't want to go to a complete modular setup, because I'll just keep buying stuff really. My modular stuff is going to be limited to bits like this and making stuff, I think. Right, so I'll have a go at fitting this to here. You'll notice the board I bought hasn't got a Grove connector on it, but it is supplied with a breakout cable that fits onto these pins here. Probably just see the pins. So we've got a breakout cable here, and I think I've got some, also this has got a quick connector. It's an Adafruit thing, so it's smaller than the Grove, so we need a cable to convert from that to Grove connections. But in my case, I've got this cable here, so you can see the small connector and the Grove connector. what I think I can do is use these breakout cables, and just for the time being I'm going to concentrate on just putting the encoder on and the screen on. Later on I'll put these other encoders on, but at the moment I think I can just insert the pins into here, or I could on one of them anyway. So yeah, so I should be able to connect up like that. And the cable's getting a bit long, but it should still be okay for this application. So I'll try and connect the screen up first. I think on the AMYboard site it mentions an Adafruit 128 by 128 OLED display. This isn't the Adafruit one. I did order one, but it was a smaller size. They're out of stock of the larger size, but I ended up wanting one that was a 1.5-inch screen to go in here. The holes sort of are slightly misaligned, and it's a bit rough, but I've got some self-threading screws here. They're not self-tapping, they sort of cut their own threads a bit, but I found that these will just go into the holes and there's enough play in them to get them to grip onto the holes on the screen. So I'll have a go at doing that now. So I'll just take the protective cover off here a minute. I'll try and put that on again in a minute. So I've sort of offered that up to there, and I'll just try and put these screws in, or get the first one in. So it's just engaging. I'll just get a little turn on just to locate it. And I think if I do this carefully enough, you can see the screen's just sitting, I don't know if you can see that, in between there. I don't want to overstress that, but I think if I very lightly tighten it up, it will just grip onto there and it will be safe enough. So I'll get the other screws in and then see if I can just nip it up a little bit. I was going to make spacers on here, but I think at the moment this will probably be okay. So that one's in there, that's in there. I'll try and get the other two in. I'm not sure if you use the actual Adafruit board, it might line up a little bit better, but it's okay anyway. I don't know if I'll get this last one in. Might do. So I'm just going to nip them up. And I think that'll do. So they're a bit tiny bit misaligned, but so that's the screen in at the moment. I'll just see if I can get this cover back on. Right, so that may protect it a bit at the moment, just while I'm doing other stuff to it. Right, so I'll try and put the encoder in now. What I noticed on the encoder is it's got a little, I don't know if you can see that, just here it's got a little tab. So when you put it through the front screen here, it doesn't actually sit flat. I was going to cut the tab off, but what I've done is filed down a washer here that just fits over it, and that should just be enough to clear that washer. So I'll put that in now. I can twist it round later on. I don't know how it'll be located for cables and that, but I'll put it in upright at the moment. So and I'm just going to do that up finger tight at the moment. So that's it basically before I fit it onto the so I've got that there. I'm just going to leave that hand tight at the moment. Just nip it up a bit more. So that's hand tight. Now I'll try and connect the little Grove cable in, if I can find all of the, so we've got this cable here. I'm not sure. It goes in that way. So I think this can perhaps connect up to both sides. But I could be wrong about that. Right. So that's that there. I'm going to just connect up these breaker leads here, and I'm assuming we've got ground VCC and then we've got pot orange there. Right, so now I should be able to connect that into there. So I'll have a go at that, and after I've done that I'll put the board on as well. Right, so I've connected this up. I've sort of jammed them pins on these connectors into the end of this Grove cable. They do sort of go in, and I'm going to just buzz out and check for continuity. So I've got a cable going from the encoder to the display, and then this one here, if you can see it, I've just got a pin, test probe in there to try and check continuity. That will finally go into the front connector there. Right, so I'll just check this and see if there's continuity all the way through. So just check, I've got yellow should be the SCL line, the I2C bus. So I've got continuity there. Blue on this cable should be SDA, which is orange here. And I can just get under the back of here, you might just see it, to check the back of these connectors. So we've got continuity there. We've got VCC, or the positive rail here, should be indicated as this end pin. So we've got continuity there, and I'll just check the ground connection. We've got continuity there. So now I'm going to put try and tidy the cables up here and put the AMYboard, connect the AMYboard up. So see how that goes. I think I'm tempted on the AMYboard. You've got these hole cutouts here, and you've got the connectors here. Instead of bothering with standoffs at the moment, I might just use the connectors and use the nuts that are contained with the connectors. So I'll just try and tidy these cables up and connect that up at the moment. Right, so I've connected it all up now, buzzed it through, so you can see just there I've connected it to the AMYboard, or the encoder, and the screen. Put the front panel on with the mounting nuts here. I think I'm going to mount this, as I've said before, to a bit of wood, and I'll probably just cable tie that or fix it somehow to the board just gently to keep that cable back. So I'll go and try and get a bit of wood to put this on, and I should be able to put the other bits on as well. Right, forgot to mention as well, this has a push button on it as well. So I was going to put this on a piece of board, but when I was looking around I found this old case and kicking around. So what I'm going to try and do is put this somehow inside of here, perhaps screwed in from the top, and just rest it in there, and then hopefully have that in there like that. When I've got the lid on, I can stick that and that on there somehow later on when I need it. So I'll see what happens with that, but I'm going to use this box at the moment anyway. Right, so I'll try and mark this out now. So that should work just to fit the board in from the top. And then I'll just try and cut down this line and then do a line down here as well. Right, so I'll try and cut the hole out now. I'll just start with a center hole here. I'll give this a go. Right, so I'll try and cut this out now without chain drilling it. So I've got this, don't know if you can see it, coping saw here. Just take the blade out, see if I can so I've got the blade through, hopefully it's sharp enough, and I'll just try and cut to the inside of the line that you can just see on here, and then I'll file back after that. So I'll give this a go. Just see if that's okay. Cut all the way down here. Just move that. Right, so I'll go and cut the rest of these bits out now. So, cut a very rough hole out here that I can file back. Obviously, if it was metal and harder to file, I'd try and cut a neater line. So, just undo this. Take the blade out, and then I'll file back, and I'll probably use the edge of my vise as like a filing guide. Normally wouldn't do this as it blunts a file, but it's only plastic, so as soon as I feel it bite on there, I'll stop filing. So I've got them two edges done. I've just got to do this edge and this edge now. So I've done this edge here, just the bottom one to do now. Right, so I'll just clean them edges up, take it out of the vise, and see what it looks like. See if it fits. Aha.
So I'll just go and drill the holes in the lid now. I'm probably going to use self-threading screws in there, so I'll see what that's like. I might have to open that hole up a bit. Right, so I've marked up for the holes and I'll have a go at drilling them now. So that's holes drilled. So I'll try and fit it all together now. Just got to clear that. Right, so the holes seem to line up. I'll have a go at putting the screws in if I can find a screwdriver. So I've drilled them. These are 2.5mm self-threading screws, so I've drilled the hole at 2mm for these, and they seem to be threading into the plastic okay. They're not going to be a removable fitting anyway. Find the case actually has brass inserts in it, so I'll probably end up just using them screws in future. Right, just the last two, and I think that's it, and I'll go and try it out. So that's it, it's done now. One slight problem I've fouled that hole there, but I can live with that. 3 screws should hold the lid on okay. And there's the connector hole. I didn't mind, I was going to just have a blank there and just have a slot for that, but I want to be able to route cables through anyway perhaps, so that's okay. I'll just check. I'm going to tidy up them cables a bit more, but that might just fit in there from the other side if I wanted to do another cutout, but I'll probably end up just making a retainer to stick it to the lid there, either some clips or something, or just screw it through to the lid. Have something like that, or something like that. Right, so that's it. I'm going to go and try this out. I'll try and find something to go on this encoder as well. Okay, thanks very much.